All right, guys, it's Reggie. It's been a minute, but I'm back. I've been in the kitchen cooking up a lot of cool things for you guys this year. I'm excited. I'm excited about the journey that we're going to take together, and just stick with me, okay? So, what is this? What is this video? This video right here is for everybody who's having trouble starting, who's having trouble getting traction in their business. I want to cut that out completely, okay? So, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a 4-step strategies. 4 steps. There's some pieces into it. You're gonna have to do some work, but if you walk it through step by step and just follow along, I guarantee you by the end of it, you're gonna have a firm grasp of what your business is and what you want it to do. And on top of that, as a plus side, as a side effect, as all that good stuff, you're also gonna have a foundation and a firm brand to move forward with, okay? 2 for 1. Don't hate on that, all right? So let's go ahead and get started. So step number 1 in this 4-step strategy is simply to remember what made you want to stop. Sounds weird, but let's keep going, right? So everybody's got circumstances that ran you up against a wall, that chafed you, and all of a sudden you decide, you know what, I'm gonna start my business, right? So you have to capture what it was that made you want to stop and then reverse it. So let's do an example. For me, I had a great job, but I felt disconnected, okay? Every day I felt disconnected, like what I was doing wasn't touching anything. It wasn't helping anyone. It wasn't doing anything, okay? And that's a big passion of mine because I think all of us are put here to achieve some type of dream that's given to us, and we're supposed to achieve that. So I want to help people along on that journey, and I just wasn't. So I got to reverse that. Every day I want to help people achieve their dreams. And that's it. That's the goal of my business. That's what I want my business to do. I don't need to work out anything else right now. Just that's it. That's what I'm doing. So everything that comes after this should line up and attack that goal for myself, okay? And the smart thing about starting with what made you want to stop is that when you do that, you actually give yourself a conversation that your business needs to have. See, branding is just a conversation. It's the conversation that you have that exchanges value between you and your audience. And you have to remember that if you don't know what value you need from them, there's no way you can know what audience to talk to in the first place. How do you know they have what you need if you don't know what you need? And on the flip side of that, how do you see where I'm going with this, right? So you need to know yourself before you can put yourself out there. So start with what made you want to stop. I almost messed that up. Start with what made you want to stop. And that's a beginning place for beginning your business. All right, so let's move into step number 2. All right, cool. So now we're in step number 2. And step number 2 is really just kind of refining step number 1 by trying to figure out how you want your business to change your daily life, because that's really and truly what you're trying to do. You're trying to change the daily life that you have, that daily grind. You want to actually enjoy it, okay? So you got to figure out how to make your business achieve step number 1. So you know what you want. Now you got to figure out how to do it. So the first thing I want you to do, right? Let's call this 2A. 2A is this. Build a massive list of any skill that you possibly have. I'm talking if you can wash dishes, if you can crochet, if you can sew, if you can clip on those little, the little hook for the cloth diapers and they snap and they kind of cut your finger. I hate those things, right? If you can do that, that's a skill. Just write it down. Don't limit yourself right here. Make it massive, make it long, okay? So you can see what you come up with. And then from there, I want you to create 2 more lists, 2 smaller lists, okay? The first list is all the skills on that big list that you actually enjoy doing, okay? Like you actually enjoy it. And you write it down. I'm not talking good at, I'm talking just enjoy it. I enjoy this. Write it down, make another smaller list, okay? And then from there, make your second list, your second smaller list. And you're gonna take from that big list all the skills that you're actually good at or competent at, okay? I didn't say expert, but write those down too, that's awesome. But what I mean is, anything that you're good at or somebody's told you you're good at, write that on that list, okay? And then you're gonna compare the 2 lists. And any skill that shows up on both lists, I want you to pull out. Then pick your top 3, Then just choose one. Choose the one that you think feels the best for you, okay? And that's going to be your how, what you do on a daily basis to achieve step number one. Now, here's a caveat. If you have a product-based business, you really don't need to do this. But it's for services or creative fields, you're going to want to do this. You're going to narrow down what you want to do on a daily basis, because the daily grind is where everything's at, okay? You want to live for Monday, not for Friday, all right? So that's it. Now, 2B. 2B is very important, okay? And it is this. Define your successful self. Basically, who do you want to be when you grow up? And that's important, and that's a hard thing to do. So basically, I'm just going to give you the choices that you have. Okay, so choose whether or not you want to be a thought leader or a brand champion or a technical expert or just a tribe member, a big supportive tribe member. Okay, I've got descriptions for each one of these things up in the link. Just click it and you can check it out. But yeah, just pick who you want to be in the eyes of your future audience. Okay, choose that now. Don't think too hard about it. Just what do you want to be? If you want to be a thought leader, then that's the conversation that you're going to have going forward. So just pick one, and that's what you're going to focus on. Okay. Now, 2C is very important too, and that's basically just positioning your business. So go up in the link, check it out, but you're going to want to just pick 3 adjectives that describe who you want your business, how you want your business to be portrayed. So for instance, if you want to be reliable but cool and at the same time suave, then that's your brand position. Everything that you build from now on, all your content should line up with that, with those 3 adjectives. Really, really simple. Check out the link. You'll see a big list of all the adjectives you can use in order to define your brand positioning, okay? And the last thing I want you to do is figure out, this is what, 2D. This is 2D. 2D is decide who you want to deal with on a daily basis, right? And the easiest way to figure out what type of person, not your audience, just what type of person you want to deal with on a daily basis is to basically just say, do I want to wear a suit? Do you want to wear a suit every day? Or do you want to wear business casual? Or do you want to wear shorts? Or do you want to wear nothing at all? Okay, those are your choices. Just pick one, and that kind of gives you a sense of who and what you want to go after in your target audience. And that's it. That's how you figure out how you're going to achieve step number 1, okay? Awesome. Let's go into step number 3. Told you it was easy. All right, guys, cool. So we're moving into step number 3. And before I get started, I just got to shout out to how long it took me to find like the right position where I feel like I'm looking cool and I'm feeling comfortable, right? Like I want y'all to soak that in, and I hope I look cool. I hope I look cool because I feel cool. Now, anyway, target audience. That's step number 3. It's all about finding that audience that's right for you. The catch to this is I want you to decide which groups of people or which group of people you want to help, and then figure out whether or not you can help them. Okay, so identify them. So pick 10 groups, right? 10 groups that are of interest to you. And so if you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, that's okay. But if you want to help out school age kids with bullying, that's better. If you want to help out veterans, awesome. If you want to help out clowns, awesome too, right? I love Cirque du Soleil. So anyway, just find 10 groups that are of interest to you. And then for each one of those groups, find 1 to 3 problems that they're facing as a whole, as a group. And you're going to use that in order to really, really define a target audience. Okay, so now you've got 10 groups. I want you to bump each one of these groups up against your step number 1, or I'm sorry, step number 2. So in step number 2, we found your top 3 skills. Well, can their problems, those 1 to 3 problems that you just listed out, can they be solved using one of your top 3 skills? You see how it all starts to come together? There's other criteria, right, that we had in step number 2. Your successful self. You wanted to be a thought leader or a coach or a brand ambassador or a tribe member, super tribe member. Like, you got to figure out whether or not this group is going to be accepting of the successful self that you want to present to your target audience. So make sure that they're going to accept that. You know, it's the same thing with your brand positioning. Those three adjectives that I had you pick out. Um, if you're chipper, right? If you picked out chipper as one of your adjectives, but the group as a whole is massively just serious and angry, then you know that might not fit. They might not be a good jive for the type of business and the type of world that you're trying to create for yourself. Okay, that's how you start to figure out. So there should be one more. Oh, and the relationship, right? The type of people that you want to work with. Remember, you can pick whether or not you want to wear pants, or if you want to wear a suit, or if you want to wear shorts, and you know, you balance those up against what you found out about yourself in step number two, and that should lead you to the target audience that might be right for you, okay, and a good fit. And that's a good way to start for yourself, okay. And once you do that, then you move into more traditional research roles, like finding the demographics, you know, whether or not, I like to call demographics the group's ability to pay you, right? Let's just boil it down to what it is: their ability to pay you and what influences that ability. And also psychographics, which are why would they pay you? Why would they pay you if they can? So you find those things. There's links in the article, so click on the article. It's got lots of information for you. And then that's it for step number three. Guys, I'm telling you, walk through this. It's easy, okay? There's only one more step left, so let's do it. All right, guys. So we are in step number four. We are in the last phase, okay? And step number four is where you put it all together and you really kind of develop your brand message, your business message, which you're going to carry out in conversation through your marketing and all of that good stuff. This is where you put everything together, right? Everything you've learned about yourself, everything you've learned out about your target audience, and you build out the storyline. Now, in full transparency, I like a storytelling format that's called the hero's journey. Okay, that's what I use in order to build out a brand messaging strategy. Okay, so basically, what it does is it starts at the beginning of this is where you are, this is where you're at, and then as you start to find out that, as they start to find out, when I say you, I mean them, when they start to find out that there's a problem in their life, then it just kind of details the journey as they come in contact with you and how you end up changing their life for the better. And that's what you want to have them stick in their head, is that by coming to you, they're going to change for the better, but you got to figure out where they are in their journey. Okay, so you flesh out the entire thing. You walk through the hero's journey. If you look in the link, you're going to see exactly which step of the hero's journey that you need to fill out, so that when you come in contact with a potential customer, you can identify really easily, just by the conversation that you guys have, you can identify where they're at, and what point they're at. And in that way, you know when to engage them. Okay, so check out the link, check out the article, and you'll get the full on details. But the hero's journey basically just says, look, when you do business with me, this is how you're going to change, and this is how you're going to change for the better. Okay, now on the flip side of that, I want you to do a hero's journey for yourself, where you take your brand and you walk it through the hero's journey from the perspective of yourself. And what that does is it allows you to become comfortable with the story of your business, with the story of your brand. So when you have to convey your story, you know exactly, it's almost like a script for you, okay? But it's a fully fleshed out script, and you just become comfortable, you internalize it, and then all of a sudden you're just speaking out about what your business is and what you're about and what you're trying to accomplish, and who you're trying to accomplish it for, and how, you know, all those things come into play. And that's why I love the hero's journey. It's just a neat little package, okay? So definitely check out the link and see exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm telling you, this is the final phase. Once you walk through this, you will have a fully fleshed out brand, and you will know exactly what you want out of your business going forward. You're going to gain that traction because now you've got understanding. And again, because I love little bonuses to give you guys, the reason why I want you to walk through this and build out this full on brand and fleshed out brand is because I hate for startups and you know, those of us just trying to start out and get started. I hate to spend money where you don't need it, right? So Who wants to go to a brand strategist or a brand manager like myself, right? Who wants to go there and spend thousands of dollars and not have the ability to know whether or not they're delivering what you need? See, I want you to go to somebody like me fully in full knowledge of what you want from us. It makes sense, right? Because otherwise, what are you going to measure my success against if you don't know what you need? So I want you to be fully engaged. I want you to be fully educated so that you can make smart decisions with your money and put it where it needs to go and not waste it where it doesn't. Okay. So that's what this is all about, guys. I think that's it. Again, check out the link above. Check out my website, www.theshopbyreggie.com. This is The Shop, branding for military spouses, okay? And I think that's it, guys. I'll see you next time.